everyone, this is Dr. Cheryl Selman, and welcome to What Women Must Know. Thank you for joining me. And as always, the show is dedicated to empowering you with truthful information so you can make the most informed decisions possible regarding your health and well-being. And that's really my wish for you. My intention is just allowing you to gain more knowledge, and from there, you make the choices that work best for you. It's always a pleasure to be with you because I have such great people and great conversations, and of course today is no different from every other conversation. We will be having a conversation that I know will give you a lot of really practical tools, especially because here we are deep into winter and deep with all the holidays that have been going on and probably will continue to go on. And this is a time also when we are vulnerable to colds and flus and sore throats and coughs. So we are going to be exploring natural, safe solutions that I personally use and love to help you prevent and certainly shorten, if not eliminate, this first little signs of something brewing, so you can just kind of stop it in its tracks. Before we jump into our conversation, I always like to welcome people who may be listening for the very first time. I'm so glad you're here today. If you'd like to get the archived shows, then please go either to my Facebook page and like me there, which is What Women Must Know, or you can go to my website, which is Dr. Cheryl Selman. That's drcherylselman.com, and opt in there. There's also on the home page a link that takes you to the archive shows. If you opt in, then I can send you these shows every week right to your inbox, and that way you don't miss a beat with any of the shows, because I have a second program on Progressive Radio Network every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and that show is called The Love Code. And the Love Code has more of a spiritual focus. I invite spiritual teachers, spiritual masters, authors in the areas of spirituality, and people who have been on their own journey of healing and transformation, so you can be inspired and uplifted and actually open to the healing power within you. Both shows will be sent to your inbox directly if you opt in to Dr. Cheryl Selman, or if you just want to read them when they're posted, go to my Facebook page, What Women Must Know, like me over there, and they're posted there on a weekly basis as well. So I think that's what I want to share with you to begin with, and let's jump into our conversation. I find it really fascinating, and we're going to be talking to Christophe Merville, and let me just say a little bit about him. He is the Director of Education and Pharmacy Development at Boiron. In this position, he creates training programs both online and in print for pharmacists and retailers on homeopathic medicines used to treat common health conditions. Before his 20-year career with Boiron, Dr. Merville was a university hospital pharmacist in France's Loire Valley, I probably have said that terribly wrong, where he obtained 3 years of clinical experience. Born in France, Dr. Merville completed his pharmacy doctorate in 1985. He is a sought-after expert on homeopathic remedies and its practical uses for consumers as well as medical experts, and a frequent guest on radio programs across the U.S. Dr. Merville has also co-authored several published works and has presented homeopathic topics at scientific meetings. So nice to have you on the show, Dr. Merville.
Well, Dr. Selman, thank you for inviting me.
So I always find it so interesting to ask my guests about their journey, and so I'm really curious how you found your way as a pharmacist in France, and maybe France is more friendly to homeopathic remedies in their mainstream pharmacies than they are in the United States. But how did your journey unfold to bring you to the world of homeopathy?
Well, it started when I was a teenager, when I was suffering from very bad allergies. And my parents decided to drive me not to a family practitioner who was also skilled in homeopathy. And he started a treatment, and after, I would say, 6 months, took some time, but the intensity of and the severity of the episodes were clearly decreased. And I was very curious because I was already interested in therapeutics. I was looked at books and what is that? What is homeopathy? And then I learned a little bit, and then I went to pharmacy school where, of course, in France, homeopathy was taught. And I took 36 hours of homeopathy. And then I went to the hospital where we didn't use homeopathic medicine at all. But homeopathic medicines are sold in every French pharmacy. It's very completely integrated, very popular, I would say. And after my military service, I joined Boiron, and that's where I really started to learn. I had the privilege to learn homeopathy from one of the founders, Jean Boiron, who founded the company. And he was so clear. He was so scientific. His approach was so rational that it completely made sense to me. And so I decided to, use my abilities to help educating pharmacists, also physicians, nurses, and of course the public on how to use homeopathic medicines to their advantage in a safe manner.
So homeopathy in France is so much more accepted and utilized in pharmacies and even in doctors' practices in medicine than it is in the U.S., isn't it?
Yes, but it has not been always so. In the 1930s in the U.S., homeopathy was prevalent and delivered in pharmacies all over the country. It's just because with the action of, I would say, marketing, pharmaceutical marketing, the use of homeopathic medicine declined in the U.S., whereas in France, because all medicines are sold in pharmacies only, it stayed prevalent.
Well, I think we forget our history, and there's a great saying that I have used in my presentations that goes, history is written by the winners. So it applies to many facets of our present-day life, but certainly one of the winners is the pharmaceutical industrial complex, you could call them, because there was a time in the history of the United States in the early 1900s, as late as the early 1900s, in the 1930s, where homeopathic medicine and herbal medicine and more naturopathic approaches to healing were the norm, not the exception. And it was then through a lot of political maneuvering, of course, that things began to change, and these modalities were discredited or in some cases outlawed. There's an attempt to do that now. And we forget that we have such wonderful, safe, and effective healing options that can really bring us back into balance. And that's why I personally love homeopathy. And I'm more a consumer than actually using it in my naturopathic practice, although there are certain formulas, and those are the ones we're going to talk about today, that I actually would not be without. I would not be without, because I have found them so profound, and they're my first go-to whenever there is a flu, cold, sore throat thing going on. That's where I go, and that's what I want to talk about in our time today, to help people understand why homeopathy is such a fantastic and safe option. And then we're going to talk about some of the specific products that are available with Boiron, and they're found in most healthy stores and online. So they're inexpensive, readily available, and I hope people listening really stock their medicine cabinets with these products, because you want them on hand. So let's begin and give a bit of an understanding of homeopathy. I'm sure many people listening, they may have heard of homeopathic remedies. They may even have used them, but not necessarily understanding the real science behind homeopathy and the theory that it is based upon. So that's always a good place to start.
So homeopathy first, homeopathic medicines are the outcome of experimental techniques. At the very beginning of the 19th century, several physicians decided to try other methods to relieve patients. And one of them, a German physician, Hahnemann, started to use toxic substances in very, very small doses. What is the smallest dose of a medicine I can give in order to get a reaction? And slowly, make the whole story short, but slowly but surely, over the course of his life, and then his students developed it after him, he developed the method of homeopathy. And to explain what it is simply, I always took an example. So if you are in a small kitchen with only one closed window, and I ask you to peel and chop about 5 pounds of onions, you'll have symptoms very soon. Your eyes will be itchy, you'll be sneezing spasmodically, and you'll have a very irritating discharge, watery, flowing from your nostrils. And all the symptoms will be relieved once you breathe fresh air. Okay, now let's take a person at the beginning of a cold or during an episode of hay fever. A person has the same symptoms: spasmodic sneezing, itchy eyes, watery discharge, irritating the nostrils, and all the symptoms improve by fresh air. If you give a homeopathic preparation from the onion, you relieve the symptoms. So for each set of symptoms, for each substance, if you want, there is a set of symptoms corresponding to what would occur to a patient if you take the substance in high doses. And to each set of symptoms correspond a homeopathic medicine made from that substance. Of course, those homeopathic medicines are made from very tiny amounts, diluted amounts, and that's what makes homeopathy sometimes so controversial or unaccepted, because we say, how come it's so diluted and it can still work? We have an explanation for a couple of them. We have very interesting science and ways to explain how it can work, because in fact they're not that diluted. They're diluted enough to be safe, but they're still active. And that's what will be probably discovered in the next 20 to 30 years, hopefully.
Yeah. The thing that always attracted me to homeopathy, and in my way of thinking, it's the first, and I don't even know if it's the first, but it's in the range of modalities, it's really the first medicine that is truly an energy medicine, because it's working as an energetic, a frequency, more than an actual substance. It's not like you're taking a bunch of chemicals. You're taking imprinting the energies of substances that the body reads, the information, which is pretty fascinating, because I've gotten more and more into understanding how, information is carried on various carrier waves, right? And how our body actually reads information in very subtle ways. And homeopathy is certainly an expression of that energy medicine, which is very powerful. It's very powerful in communicating to the body and to the cells. And what about side effects? Let's talk about that.
So compared to conventional medicines, homeopathic medicines in general have a much, much lower percentage of side effect. They are much, much safer, precisely because most of them are very diluted. There is always, if you give a medicine, whatever it is, there's always a small percentage of side effect. Some people badly react to the medicine, even though you should, suppose that there should be completely safe, because everybody is different. However, the risk of side effects for homeopathic medicine is very, very low. So that's one more reason to try homeopathy first, especially for symptoms like cold, like minor sore throat or coughing. If you try homeopathy first, you have a better chance of recovering without getting the side effect.
Right, and I was told if you're choosing a remedy and it's not the right remedy, then most likely nothing will happen, as opposed to taking the wrong medication in pharmaceutical variety and experiencing potentially a lot of side effects and discomfort.
It looks like when the homeopathic medicine works with the person as a key would work in a lock. If you have the wrong key, the door doesn't open. If you take the wrong homeopathic medicine, you just don't complete the system and nothing happens most of the time, I would say. That allows companies such as Boiron to put together a set of medicines targeting the different symptoms associated with the condition. Like if I want to create a medicine for allergy, for hay fever, I'll put something for sneezing, a medicine for runny nose, a medicine for itching, and so on and so forth. Knowing that most of the time everything that I use will work, but if a person doesn't need a particular medicine, it won't affect that person. And that's a big difference with combination of conventional medicine, because if you take them, even if you don't need them, you'll get the side effects.
Right. So tell us a little bit about Boiron and the history of that company.
So Boiron was founded in 1932 by two twin brothers, Jean and Henry Boiron, and they were called by physicians because there was a big problem at that time in the world, in fact, in the Western world. Physicians wanted to have medicines that were reliable. They didn't want to spend time manufacturing their medicines, and they didn't want to depend on the skills of a pharmacist or on another. They are good pharmacists. They were good pharmacists and less good pharmacists, if you want. But the problem is, as a physician, you always want your medicine to have the same quality, to be reliable. So that's what the Boiron brothers, started to do. And not only did they achieve their goal, but they really were able to create new processes and new devices to make sure that every homeopathic medicine is always manufactured the same way. So batch after batch after batch, if you take oscillococcinum, you're sure that it's the same quality. And for physicians and now patients, it's very, very important. Because if something is happening, it's different, you can say, oh, it's not because the medicine is less potent or has been damaged or whatever. It's the notion of quality is very, very important for pharmacists, especially in homeopathy.
Yeah, it's so interesting, and we should mention that the Queen Elizabeth uses homeopathy. I think that's one of her favorite healing modalities, isn't it, Christophe?
Yes. In fact, sadly, her former physician was a very skilled homeopath, Dr. Fisher. He passed away about 1 year ago, but he was extremely fascinating in explaining all the new discoveries in homeopathy. It was a very, I'm sure she lost a very, very good physician there.
Wow. Was he replaced?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
There must be someone that's still doing that, yeah. So, okay, so the other thing I just want to elaborate for people is that you can take homeopathic remedies in two different forms. So there's the liquid and the pellets. So let's talk about those two options. And I believe Boiron mostly is working with the pellets, right?
We have several forms. What is important for the consumer, for the patient, for whoever wants to use homeopathy, is to choose a form that is as stable as possible and as adapted as possible. So for adults, we have the pellet form. It's a solid form. It's very stable. The expiration date is 5 years. You don't need anything, you need water. You just let the pellets melt in your mouth, dissolve in your mouth. The absorption of the medicine is done through the mucous membrane of your mouth. It's what we call sublingual absorption. So for most part, we can use the pellets. We also have sublingual tablets, same thing. You let them melt in your mouth. They just dissolve in a couple of seconds, and they are absorbed through the mucous membrane of the mouth. Now you have also liquid forms. So you have, for example, syrups that are adapted because they coat the throat, and just by doing so, they relieve the cough. But you also have the problem of administering medicines to babies, to infants, for teething, for baby colic, for diaper rash. So we put together liquid unit doses. They do not contain sugar, they do not contain alcohol, and you just squeeze the liquid dose in the baby's mouth. They are tasteless, so the baby just absorbs them, and that's probably the best way. You have also drops, but usually drops contain 20% alcohol, so it's not very easy to give, and their shelf life is also more limited. They are more easily contaminated. That's why it's not the preferred way, but they work all the same. It's not a question of which one works the best. It's which one is more practical to take.
Right. So it's just the delivery system that you can choose from in many cases. And sometimes if you're just using a topical cream, then that's a topical cream. But if you want something to work systemically or to address a specific issue, then you can choose. If those options are available. But they all work. They're all effective, is what you're saying.
Yes, you have eye drops, you have suppositories, and so on. So different forms, as you said, depending on the action you want.
Right. Okay, so mine was just going to some of the times I've used homeopathic remedies so effectively for conditions. I remember I had a really bad eye condition, and it was really painful, like a sty. It was red. It was very dry, irritated, and I used euphrasia. Is that it? Is that the one? Did I say it right?
Exactly. The homeopathic medicine for the eyes, for irritated red eyes, is euphrasia. You can use eye drops, and usually homeopathic eye drops will contain euphrasia, but you can use also euphrasia 6C in pellets if you have, inflamed eyes, provided, of course, it's not too infected. In that case, you need to see your ophthalmologist. But if it's just bothering you, you have that gritty feeling in the eyes because of dust, because of, something in your eye, you can take eye drops, and you can take 5 pellets of euphrasia every 2 hours if you want, for about, half a day, to help with soothing the eyes.
I'm glad that memory came, because it was so effective. I'm so grateful, because I just came off a plane. I was in London, and I didn't know what to do. So that's what I did. Got some homeopathic remedies, so it helped. But we're going to talk about the flu and cold. So I want to start with the flu and talk about my favorite flu homeopathic remedy, Oscillo, which you will talk about it. You'll give it the proper name. That's my short way of saying it. But
yes.
I want to just say before we jump into that this is a homeopathic remedy that I not only use at the very first sign of the flu, but when I am traveling, if I'm going on a flight, I always take one of these before I take off, and then when I land, to support my immune system. And I never get the flu when I'm flying, and I fly a lot. So I have to add that. That's like one of my favorite preventative strategies. So let's talk about Oscillo, and you can say the right name, the long name of it.
No, you said it right. We call it Oscillo for short. The name is Oscillococcinum, and it's a medicine for flu-like symptoms. So it works not only if you have the real, flu, the one that keeps you in the bed, but if you feel that you have chills, headaches, fatigue, body aches, and fever, even if it's not a full-blown flu, Oscillo is indicated. And as you said, when we travel, we're exposed to, of course, contacts to many other viruses. So it's a good idea to keep Oscillo at hand and to take it, and that's the key with Oscillo, to take it at the very onset of symptoms. As soon as you feel something is going on, don't wait, and take it right now, one dose every 6 hours until the symptoms are disappeared. We have studies showing that most of the time, 63% of the time, within 48 hours, you're symptoms free if you take Oscillo at the onset of symptoms.
You know, that's such an important point, and I think it's worth emphasizing. As soon as someone feels, or even just like senses something's not right, you may not even have any obvious symptom, but you just feel a little, something's off in your throat or a little throbbing in your head, you have to jump on things right at that point. Even if it's nothing, if you take something, Oscillo, it won't hurt, but it could, you know, nip things in the bud and never have to progress. You always have to address the earliest symptoms, always at the early. If you can get things really early on, you can eliminate or certainly cut short that process.
And it's something that generally in with homeopathic medicines, with conventional medicine sometimes, especially men, but we wait until we are sick enough to justify taking a medicine. And it's not a good strategy with homeopathic medicine because they work best at the onset of symptoms.
Right. So I'm going to spell Oscillo, the short version, Oscillo. For my listeners, Oscillo. I noticed that there are displays of it, you know, whatever health food store I'm in, Whole Foods or Sprouts, even some pharmacies, I believe, have it now. There's stands of it there. So you can't miss it. You know, you really want to pick up a packet and take it home. But there's an interesting story with this. Can you just share a little bit about where it came from?
So Oscillococcinum has been discovered during the Spanish flu pandemic of 1918-1919, when people were literally dying like flies because of the flu pandemic at that time. And the flu seemed to emerge spontaneously in farms. And then, of course, from there was contaminating cities. But it seems to be appearing spontaneously. And physicians were quick to observe that migratory birds were carrying the germ from farm to farm, infecting, of course, animals first and then human beings. And a physician at that time, Dr. Roy in France, made several preparations with the organs of one of these migratory birds, and several homeopathic preparations. And of course, he didn't know what viruses were. He thought it was a germ like a bacteria, but of course there is no bacteria for the flu, it's a virus. But one of these preparations was found to be very active when given early, and even in cases that were bad. But at least if you were giving the medicine quite early, it was active. So after this preparation becomes standardized, Brown decided to produce it industrially to make it available, and that's how Oscillo started.
So interesting. So it's the the origins came from an observation that acknowledged that for some reason these birds, something was happening from them, and I just think that's amazing that someone had that observation and was willing to experiment, because from that time it's become such an important homeopathic remedy that is so widely used and has such wonderful results for people. You know, it's just so fascinating. I'm just told that it came from geese or something, because geese don't get the flu, but that's not true, huh?
It's a species of duck, And birds have evolved with the flu virus for much more than we have. They have evolved with flu virus for dozens of millions of years. So they get the virus, but they don't develop symptoms anymore, or grave symptoms. It's a little bit like humans and herpes. Most of the time we get the virus, we get some inconvenience, rashes, and then that's it. We don't die from it. But
right.
humans have been in contact with the flu virus for much less time, and we still don't have developed the capacity to not to be that sick. But birds, they're fine. They carry the virus, but they don't die from it.
Right. Yeah. Wow. That's so interesting. Okay. So Acilo is one of the homeopathic remedies that everyone wants to have. And they're good at having it. And I just want to emphasize the first sign of flu, achiness, scratchiness, but also for preventatively, because that is used more in France, isn't it, as like boost the immune system. So what I was saying, so when I travel, I'm less vulnerable to whatever else is going around at the airport, on the airplane.
Yes, we do not market oscillococcinum as a preventative. That's not legal in the U.S. And so you take it at the onset of symptoms. Now, when you catch the virus, you stay with no symptoms for 5 to 7 days, where the virus starts to multiply in your body, but you're not sick, you don't have symptoms. So it makes sense, and it's customary in France that people take it every week, or when they feel they will be exposed to the virus, not knowing, of course, if they have been exposed or not, because they have no symptoms. So that in that sense, we take Oscillo before the symptoms, but knowing that we might get them, we might get contaminated. But it's not truly,
right.
I would say, a preventative.
Okay.
On the pharmaceutical
not
sense
truly.
of the word, if you want.
No, we don't want to say that, do we? FDA won't like that. Okay.
No,
okay.
we need to stay.
So,
we need to stay in the framework.
Yes, especially these days, we have to be proper. Okay, let's talk about the next remedy that I love, called Cold Calm, and I just want to share my little testimonial with this. I was at a trade fair. And I had a really bad cold. I was a few days into the cold, so you can imagine. So freezing, just feeling, silly, and just, generally under the weather. And I came across a boron booth, and one of the people at the booth gave me Cold Calm to take. I have to say, Christophe, within hours, I had a total recovery. Within hours. So I just was so impressed. I've been a fan ever since, because it was so remarkable, which doesn't normally happen with a cold. I mean, you can't really just reverse symptoms so quickly when a cold is full blown.
Well,
about Cold Calm.
I've seen people with full blown colds, really bad, getting better in 24 hours, much better. So the key, and you stated that several times, but it's important. The key is to take it as soon as possible and really follow the directions. It's very simple, in fact. But you take one dose, that's 2 tablets, every 15 minutes for the first 2 hours, and then you space to take it 3 times a day. So you really attack the symptoms, the problem up front. And then, as the symptoms recede, you space, of course, the dosage. But Cold Calm is a medicine specifically when you don't have those flu symptoms like body aches and high fever. So when it's congestion, when it's minor sore throat, coughing, that is a very, very useful medicine.
Okay, so the difference is when a flu, you have more the achiness. You may have more of a headache, throbbing. Would that be more of the flu and the achiness in the body?
It's very simple. You cannot work when you have the flu. You're at home and you're miserable. You can't even watch TV, I would say. Cold, it's not easy, but you can still function.
Oh. That's
with
a great
the flu,
way to
you
make
have
a distinction.
intense body aches. Yeah, it's very clear.
Yeah.
But first of all, if you don't know if it's the cold or of the flu because you're just starting, take Osilo. If you develop cold symptoms, usually it's about nasal congestion, it's about chest congestion, it's about minor sore throat and sneezing and feeling, bad, but not that bad that you cannot work. Of course, you shouldn't go to work and contaminate your colleagues, but that's easy to say. That's when you take cold calm.
Okay. Well, what about let me see. You have cold calm for children. You have a couple of options with cold calm.
Yes. So we have the traditional cold calm tablet form. That's for adults and children 3 and above. And we also have exactly the same formula as pellets. Sometimes kids, always 3 years of age and older, you give pellets. They prefer the pellets as the tablets for some reason. Now, cold calm is not dangerous for kids, younger than 3. But if you have a kid that has a sore throat and is, less than 3 years old, you don't want to self-medicate. And in fact, the FDA asks us, put that warning. If a kid has cold symptoms, fever like this, see a healthcare professional to be sure that it's only a cold. And then we have, for kids that are 6 months of age and older, we have a special formula for them in liquid dose that you squeeze in their mouth. So it's easy to administer. You have no risk of choking. There are no needs of preservative because we are using single unit doses. There is no alcohol, nothing like that. Easy to administer and very effective for nasal congestion. They have the sniffles, and you don't know really what to do besides, keeping them warm.
Okay, that's great. That's such a wonderful thing for parents to know about. I think to have something like that, have the cold calm, either in the liquid or the pellets. Okay, so if you have a cold, you feel terrible, but you can work. So you may have runny noses, and you just may have a full head, but you can work. If you have a flu, you're out for the count. So that's a great way to make those distinctions. Okay, so let's talk about coughs and chest congestion, which again is really common when people are in the winter season and feeling unwell and vulnerable, their immune system's a little compromised.
So for what is important to know is that coughing when you're sick is the way the body has to try to expectorate anything that's irritating the airways. So if you have a dry cough, that one is bothering because usually it prevents you to sleep. It can be fitful, it can be hacking. In that case, you want to facilitate the transition between a dry cough to a productive wet cough, where phlegm is produced, and the phlegm means that, okay, your body is reacting, immune system is kicking up, and whatever is irritating your airways will be expelled with the cough. Now, in some cases, there is so much phlegm produced that it leads to chest congestion, and you cough, but the phlegm is so thick that it's difficult to expectorate, or you may be too weak for elderly people or young kids. They may not be effectively expectorating the cough. So in that case, you need to fluidify the phlegm. And our Chestol cough syrup contains honey to soothe the throat. It contains homeopathic medicine for dry cough in order to facilitate that transition from dry to productive. And it also contains homeopathic medicines to fluidify the phlegm and help expectorating without stopping the cough itself. Because in that case, in wet cough, the cough reflex is good and needs to be preserved. If you take dextromethorphan and you have a wet cough, you are increasing your chances of lung infection or chest congestion. So that's the advantage of Chestol. You have one cough syrup for dry, fitful, night cough or wet cough without, those type of inconvenience of or counterproductive effect that you may have with the conventional cough syrups. And it tastes good. You don't have to chase the kids around to give the syrup.
Yeah, and you're not, buying those off-the-counter, off-the-shelf syrups that suppress the cough and also have all this terrible artificial coloring and sugars in it. And I think that's such an important point. You don't really want to suppress coughs, and you don't want to suppress the mucus. You want to expirate, you want it to come out. If you shut the system down, you're going against the body's innate way of clearing the the toxins that are being removed or the dead cells that are being removed. So, the easy way is to take something that is a suppression of the cough, but in the long run, you're actually compromising your body further.
Yeah, that's a very important point you're making, and worth underlying. A lot of times, we in our society, in our culture, we think about suppressing the symptom because it's embarrassing, it's annoying, it's uncomfortable. So we suppress the symptom, and what most conventional medicine do, they just mask it. Now, homeopathic medicine will help you to go through your disease, through your problems, much faster and with less intense symptoms. They will not suppress the symptom. They will allow you to react faster and better. So that's a very important point to consider. That's why you need to take them early, because the earlier you take them, the more efficient, the more active they will be in helping transition through all the stages of the problem. And that's very important to mention, because we are conditioned to say, okay, I'm uncomfortable, I take that pill, the symptom goes away. But sometimes it's at the expense of how the body deals with the problem itself.
Right. Yeah, we've been taught things that actually go against the body's ability to truly heal and repair. So these conversations are just so important to remind people to want to work with the body's healing processes, not against them. So Chestol, Chestal, is the liquid cough syrup, cough remedy. And the one we were talking about before, I just want people to get the name, is Cold Calm. So that's the cold homeopathic remedy by Boiron. And then you have Chestol, Chestal, which is the cough liquid syrup that is used for healing coughs. And the best thing is, it doesn't matter what kind of cough it is. It helps. When my elderly mother was dealing with lots of coughs, of course, she wanted to go down to the pharmacy and pick up a cough medicine, and I intercepted her and gave her the Chestol, which she was taking. I felt so much better knowing she was on that form of that homeopathic remedy for coughs, rather than putting all these other products in that have all these, to be honest, terrible ingredients in them, and more as a suppressant, and with all the colorings and everything else. It's like, oh, I stutter. So I was so happy to be able to have that option to give her, which she was happy to take, because it looked like a cough medicine anyway, right? It is a cough medicine. Yeah. Okay, anything else you want to say about that?
It occurred to me that we're talking a lot about different medicines, and sometimes it might be difficult for auditors to remember or not. We have developed for the last 5-6 years an application that's free. That's called the Boiron Medicine Finder. It's the name of the company, Boiron plus Medicine Finder. You can download it on your tablet, smartphone, and in a few clicks, it leads you to the best protocol. We're using, combinations or single homeopathic medicine. Gives you the warnings. I encourage everybody to look at the warnings, to say how long you should take it, when to stop if you have a symptom that is not, that is the sign of a more serious problem. And you can very easily email the protocols or send them, or just, do whatever you want with them. You have a store locator, you have small videos to tell you what the medicine is about. So it's a very nice app if you want to, just as a first user, you want to remember, okay, which one is for cold, which one is for flu. So that app will tell you that very quickly.
Okay, so I will give that link in the archive show. So if people want to get the archive of this show, and you can do that through my Facebook page, know when it's posted, or again, if you opt into my website, it'll be on the page with the interview. So I'll have all the links, and I'm going to list some of the single remedies, which we're not going to get into. So it's Boron Medicine Finder? Is that what it's called?
Finder.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I will be sure to include that in the information in the archive show, which is great. Thanks for sharing it, because I know it can be a lot for people to take it, especially if they're driving. So people be able to access it. And I think it's a great educational portal to go into. Sounds great, Doc. I'm going to go and get that app too. So we have two more basic remedies that I think are really important to know about in this season, or any season. Let's talk about Sinus Calm and the benefits of that remedy.
The Sinus Calm, sorry?
Yes, the Sinus Calm.
Okay. So Sinus Calm is a homeopathic medicine for people who, because they are allergic, or because every time they have a cold, it goes to the sinus, becomes sinus congestion, or because their nasal cavity has been, fractured, or they have a little mechanical problem there. It's very frequent, in fact. Deviated septums, okay. Those unfortunate people, and I'm one of them, every time they have an allergy or nasal congestion or a cold, it goes into the sinuses. So you have that pain above the eyes, pain in the upper jaws, and it can be quite intense and sometimes gets infected in sinusitis. You don't want to go there because really it's painful. So same thing, at the first sign of sinus congestion, that's where you take Sinus Calm tablets. Usually it's more for adults because kids do not have completely developed sinuses yet. But it's completely safe. You can take it as indicated. What is interesting is they don't contain decongestant. That decongestants will provide quick relief because of the vasoconstriction of the blood vessels. You feel like, the congestion disappears. The problem is that they completely shut down access to the mucous membrane to the immune cells, so completely counterproductive. So Sinus Calm doesn't have that problem and doesn't contain phenylephrine or things that will interact with other medications, especially high blood pressure medication. So that's another advantage of homeopathic medicine. They don't interfere above a certain dilution. Most of them, for C or Atix, do not interfere with other conventional medicine. So if you have a chronic treatment for high blood pressure, let's say, you can still take homeopathic medicine for cold or sinus problems.
Right. So this is also good for allergies, right? People who have their sinuses are congested from allergies.
It's secondary to allergy. It's not a medicine for allergy per se. We have another medicine for that, which is called Rhinallergy. That's targeting, but I'm referring to patients who, as soon as their nasal cavity is inflamed, their nasal mucous membrane swells, they feel congested, and it blocks the entry to the sinuses. And that's where they feel the pressure not in their nose, but in their sinuses, which are above the eyes, under the eyes, in the upper jaw. So that's different type of problem than nasal congestion. And it should be different. But people who have this tendency know very well what I'm talking about. They have that pain very intense that forces them to close the eye. It's inside the bone, but it's usually it comes from nasal cavity inflammation from cold or allergies.
Right. Yeah, because you feel that throbbing in your sinuses.
Yeah.
Of your eyes, in your face. How do you know? Often, what's happening with sinus conditions, they could be caused by an infection in your sinus cavities, right? Or it could be mold.
That's secondary effect. Yeah, that's secondary because those nasal cavities become closed due to the inflamed and swollen mucous membrane of your nose. There are closed cavities with a little bit of liquid, and if there is usually a bacteria or mold, then you have a higher risk of infection, and that becomes sinusitis. You don't want to go to that step because then the treatment is, unfortunately, homeopathy is not enough at this point. You need to do something else. You can still take the homeopathic medicine, but it's clearly not enough. I would say sinus calm really at the first sign of sinus congestion.
Okay, that's a great distinction. Thanks for that. And the last one we're going to talk about is for people who have sore throat that can be associated with colds, which is throat calm. And what can you share with us about the use and when appropriate to use throat calm?
So throat calm is probably one of my very favorite homeopathic medicines because it's very, very reliable. And not only does it target minor sore throat due to, infection. I say minor sore throat because, of course, if you have a strep throat, that needs to be diagnosed and you need to take antibiotics. If not, you have a higher risk of bigger problems. But it's for minor sore throat, and it's also for people who are straining their voices, speakers, singers, coaches, people who are going to the rock and roll concert and are screaming, or to the football match and are screaming the whole night. They are at a higher risk of getting a sore throat because their throat is raw and more fragile. So they will catch on top of it. They can get contaminated by someone else in the crowd. But so that's where you take throat calm. As soon as you feel that raw feeling or hoarseness or bitonal voice, the voice is not stable anymore, that's where you take it. So not only for, it's a good medicine for teachers. They use their voices all the time, and they cannot afford to get, to lose their voices or get a sore throat because they can't speak, very simply. So, or it's very painful. So always take throat calm, always the same thing. Take it at the very onset of symptoms. As soon as you feel, oh, my voice is strained. Throat calm contains arnica. And arnica works on the overexerted muscles around the vocal cords. So when you strain your vocal cords, arnica helps with the overexertion and helps with the feeling that you can't talk anymore. So double indication here: hoarseness, loss of voice, and minor sore throat. But if you see a rash, if the fever is high enough, you need to make sure that you don't have a strep throat. That needs to be taken care of specifically. You can still take throat calm with conventional treatment, but it's not enough if you have a strep throat.
If you take it with conventional treatment, does it help for a faster recovery?
Yes, exactly. You combine both. If you have to take an antibiotic for strep throat, unfortunately, but that's the best treatment because strep throat can have, repercussions later in life on your heart, on your joints, so you don't want to take that risk. But if you have to take an antibiotic, the antibiotic will work, but you still need your resources, your immune system, and everything else to fight the problem, the bacteria. The antibiotic helps, but in fact, it's your immune system that does most of the work. So if you combine homeopathic medicine, you'll get certainly relief in many symptoms that during the time the antibiotic will work, but you will not interfere with antibiotics, and you'll get more comfortable quicker. But it doesn't mean that if you're given an antibiotic for 1 week, you need to take it for 1 week, even if you don't have any more symptoms.
Okay, that's a great distinction. So the place to go is the company is, well, if you want to go online, it's Boiron, BOIRON, USA.com. You can go to the app. Give me the name of that app again.
So it's an application that starts with the name of the company, BOIRON, and it's a Boiron Medicine Finder, and you find it on it's good for it's available for Androids or iPhones or tablets or even Kindles.
Okay, so that's the app. So that's fantastic. And we'll just mention briefly everything we talked about. The flu is Oscillo. The cold is ColdCalm, easy to remember. The cough is Chestol. The sinus is Sinus Calm. And the throat is Throat Calm, all easy to understand. And, if you want to learn more, go on to Boiron USA, check your health food stores because it's in most retail outlets for health food stores, and you can go and get the app, Boiron Medicine Finder. Thank you so much, Christophe. This has just been so educational, and I'm so pleased we were able to have the time to get you on the show because I just think that everyone should be carrying these products. Just have them, always have them somewhere in your medicine cabinet. So if you have a need for them, they're right there. They don't go bad, or they're good for years and years. And they're safe and effective, inexpensive, and most of all, they work. So thank you so much, Dr. Christophe Merveille, for all your wisdom and sharing such great and important information with us today.
Well, thank you. It was a pleasure, really, truly.
Well, thank you all. And everyone listening, yep, there's some great solutions for you. And until next time, I will be seeing you. And remember to honor the wisdom of your feminine self. Bye for now.